Hello friends, my name is Casey and I'm making this video to tell you why the concept of the soulmate is actually pretty dangerous and why believing in the concept of a soulmate, trying to find your soulmate, actually might prohibit you and get in your way of finding a healthy, compatible relationship. So let's get right into it. And I want to preface this video by saying, first of all, in order to find love, you first have to love yourself. Okay, and that's a journey that I'm going to be doing some more videos about that in the future, but you want to learn how to love yourself, and part of love is being realistic about your strengths and your weaknesses and working on yourself as a person, improving yourself, and that's tough. That is not an easy thing to do. So the concept of the soulmate. Most of us, when we're kids, we see different Disney movies, and I'm not knocking Disney, by the way. I love Disney, but we see like Disney movies, fairy tales, the prince and the princess, they somehow find each other, overcome some obstacles, and they get married and they live happily ever after. But a lot of the times, you just don't see what happens after the wedding. And more modern movies are kind of getting into that, but fairy tales are called that for a reason. They're fairy tales. Real relationships, they take work, and we all know this, whether it's personal relationships with our loved ones, our family and friends, co-workers, and also our relationship with ourselves. So the thing is that the concept of a soulmate is this person who's supposed to be perfect for you and you're perfect for them. They're going to fulfill, all of your needs, and it's just going to be perfect. But the truth is that realistically, that doesn't exist. Also, statistically, as of right now, almost 8 billion people on the face of the earth, no matter if you're, into same gender or both genders or the opposite gender, whoever you are attracted to, the statistical odds are that there are so many partners out there that you could be compatible with. So that's really important to keep into consideration. So this whole concept of a soulmate, it's dangerous, and it's also glazing over the fact that, hey, let's say that you meet someone who you think is your soulmate. It sets unrealistic expectations because, it's very easy to think, hey, this person should just love me for me, they get me. But really, yes, there are people that you're more compatible with, but still, it takes communication. Communication is the key to so many things, and miscommunication and misunderstanding of ourselves and each other is pretty much one of the biggest sources of conflict for us human beings as a species. So communication, of course, is going to be essential for, a romantic relationship. So it's the whole thing of this soulmate. I have seen people, I've known people, and I even got caught up in this myself, especially when I was a teenager, this concept of like, yeah, there's this one person out there who's going to be perfect for me, and I'm going to find them. It's just, not only is it not realistic, but it's actually detrimental. Because let's say you find that person who you think is perfect, and then if it doesn't work out, you're going to be devastated. And then you're just going to be chasing after this person, even after a breakup, and that's going to put you in like not a great position emotionally. What if that relationship was toxic or abusive? It's going to blind you to that reality, or you're going to push it, you're just going to push it underneath the rug. You're going to say, no, this person, it can work, it can work, it can work. So here's the thing. There are potentially, for each one of us, no matter how unique you might be, there are tens of millions of people out there, at least, that you would be very compatible with. Absolutely. and that's just a fact, but that's comforting in a way. So really, what that means is that finding romance, finding love, it's about loving yourself and kind of opening yourself up to the positivity and positive connections that are within other people. And it also means being careful, because if you were just focused on, say, let's say you have a concept of what your soulmate is like, right? And it's just this one narrow type of person. You're only going to go looking for that one type of person. And what if subconsciously that one type is actually very toxic for you? Okay, because some of the things we do, most of the things we do, we're not even thinking about it. We're just going on autopilot. We're kind of just acting off of these subconscious emotions and fears and desires that we haven't even really dived down into. So you might think, oh yes, the right person for me has just this, and this, and say you only go looking for that. You're missing out on so many other amazing opportunities. And let's say you find that person, inevitably there's going to be disappointment, because if you think that somebody is perfect, well, that's just not realistic. Nobody's perfect. And there's this assumption that plays into the whole soulmate concept that, you're not going to have to put a lot of work in, because they're just going to, like we were talking about, they're just going to get you. They're just going to understand you, and everything is going to be great. It's just not realistic. Just usually doesn't happen that way. So how can you combat this? What's the way to get past this? Well, first of all, the way is to realize that self-love, loving yourself and developing yourself into the best person that you can be, right? And getting to know yourself. You have to look into your past also and see what are the negative patterns that you've had with romance, with dating. Also, what are the negative things that you've done yourself, things that have not gotten good results? Got to be realistic and, do some self-reflection, right? And then working on your weaknesses, working on your issues, that's very important. And when it comes to dating, being more open-minded is one of the most important things, and recognizing what works for you and what doesn't, right? And recognizing that oftentimes the people that you traditionally may have dated, or the people that you think are the most attractive or the most charismatic or the most charming, sometimes those people might be the exact opposite of what you need, okay? So that's why the concept of a soulmate is very dangerous, because it's this simplification, it's this boilerplate kind of deduction of what should be right, of what should be perfect. But there's no such thing as a perfect lover or a perfect human being. We all have flaws. And in some ways, looking for a soulmate, looking for someone who's going to complete you, that's a reflection of the fact that really each one of us needs to have some completeness and some love within ourselves. Because if you're looking for happiness outside of you, to fill in whatever issues you have, to just make everything perfect, it's going to lead inevitably to disappointment, and will actually hinder you from finding the relationship that's right for you. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Really just wanted to get that out there, okay? I think that there are many reasons why, over 50% of marriages tend to end in divorce, why a lot of people, will jump from one relationship to another, instead of working on it, or why some people would just stay in a relationship that's toxic. There are many reasons for it, but I do think from experience and research and just observing people, and even observing my own past behavior, the concept of the soulmate is part of the reason why a lot of the time people have difficulties finding and maintaining good relationships. Anyway, my name is Casey. Please click the like button, subscribe. If you have ideas for different topics you'd like me to do a video on, please leave a comment below and share this video with people who you feel this will help. Thanks a lot, guys, and I wish you the best in life and love and luck, and stay safe.